And we are live tonight from the Daytona Super Speedway here for the Loose Lugnuts Racing League Support the Troops Truck Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by the fantastic Mr. Jeff Wood and the even more fantastic Mr. John Solcheski. Well, Jeff Wood is equally fantastic. Everyone's equally fantastic. This is like Oprah, where everyone gets fantastic. I don't know where I'm going with this intro. One of y'all save me from my rambling.
Nope, Daytona, man. And again, with John Solcheski on board with us tonight, he's going to be covering, 90% of the pits, and you'll hear him chime in from time to time. But Daytona, I got done talking with Matt earlier on about, we're running dirt speed weeks down there, getting ready for the actual Daytona speed weeks. So a lot of Florida action here. Daytona, night race tonight, Truck Series, final race before the chase.
It should be a good one here tonight to get ready to start the chase. Let's take a look at a new paint scheme real quick. I want to look at that 60 car Jeff Merck, and yes, because I love shameless self-promotion, but also because look at that beautiful camo car. That was done by the one and only John Hendrick of Over the Top Designs. If you want a good-looking truck for iRacing, or good-looking anything for iRacing, contact John Hendrick. Look at what he can make. He makes some of the best-looking vehicles on this sim.
Yep, and outside the sim, if you're willing to go the extra mile and pay for that thing that everyone's chasing down this year, the usual, I wouldn't say usual, but the what has become the norm of the trophy as we are about 2 minutes into this open qualifying session. That trophy's the prize, and the winner of the points at the end of the year will be getting their die-cast car. So everyone's shooting for that great trophy. And tonight, why we got it second here, go over the top 12 in points. Mitch Reeves, Justin Michael, Brandon Murray, Ronald Klein, that's your top 4 in points. Brian Abbott and Kyle Chadwick seem to be tied for 5th. Trent Drum, Jeff Gilmore, and Ray Richards 7th. And Randy Arms, Brandon Thornhill, and Jeff Merck, that's 10th through 12th there. But there is probably about a 22-point gap between 13th place and 12th place. Now that is recoverable tonight, and someone could have the worst night even in front of 12th place. So who knows? We'll have to see what becomes of that. I just don't see anyone maybe outside of the guys that are 7th and above losing their top 12 points.
Yeah, that I gotta agree with you on that one. Minute 48 left in qualifying. Travis Browder, the top of the speed charts right now, in the middle of that pack with Ken Richardson, Jeff Gilmore, and Randy Arms as well. Do you think we'll see that car taken off the top of the grid?
Browder's fast for speedways. I think that number 3 machine might be an early pick here tonight. John, you probably got more seat time than me and Matt of recent. You've been on at Dega in this league. What do you expect from these guys here tonight?
Well, what I expect is everyone to run pretty clean. You're going to have the guys that are most comfortable in the draft. They'll work together the best, and they'll have a pretty solid pack together. You'll see a few guys drop back. That's usually where I end up. But for the most part, guys like Travis Browder, Gilmore, Arms, Reeves, those are going to be the guys that you're going to want to keep an eye on, because they're always fantastic at these super speedways.
And definitely some good insight there. Now look at this pack they got going here. They're in qualifying, and they're driving it like they're in the race with 2 laps to go. I mean, look at it here, Jeff. I tell you, they might be winding up getting ready to wreck here going into 3 and 4. I hope that isn't the case, but they're running way close together, and I think a little bit too close for some of these drivers' comforts. I would not want to be Mark Jackson or James Brown at the moment.
Now, they're going to get across the start-finish line right here, so this will be their final lap around the speedway, about 45 seconds around. Here they go. They're going to press the issue like it's the actual final lap. Ronald Klein down low. He's going to lose it. Brian Abbott on the outside there. We're talking like it's the race, Matt, and this is just qualifying. What's that old saying? Practice?
There you go, and here we go. Minute left in the session. They'll be able to finish this lap if they so desire, but it looks like they're all beating and banging off each other So I don't think that's going to be an option for him. Mitchell Reeves, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Got it centered there. As they go through 3 and 4. Oh, there's a wreck. There it is. Mark Jackson will finish his lap. Does he advance his position? No, he does not.
There was a lot of non-draft there, so we'll get to that starting grid here in a second.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Let's take a quick look at that final wreck there. Consisted of the 4-car Wesley Holland. Well, really, so we'll take a look at that. You can see coming into 3 and 4, coming out of 3 and 4, I should say. It was 3 wide. Brian Abbott just slid up a little bit into Abbott and into Arms. And all 3 of them went for a ride there. So that's got to be something they're going to have to be careful of tonight during this race when we get into the main show.
Yep, about 5 seconds away from that, Matt. And, you know, anyone could win here tonight, but I'm going to stick my idea in here that, you know, the guys in the top 12 in points, they still need to shoot for the win here tonight if they can. They want a bonus point going into the round of 12 for 2 races starting at Phoenix next week. So what better place to score that?
Well, Jeff, bring us through our starting lineup. We get ready to go racing here at Daytona.
Not Travis Bauer, as you mentioned, 46.327 on that time chart. The number 18 takes position number 1. Outside pole, I don't think he wants to start there, but he's going to. Jeff Gilmore, 46.340, so only a couple hundredths off there. Randy Arms, 3rd. Mitchell Reeves, 4th. James Brown, 5th. Ken Richardson, 6th. Ray Richards, 7th. Brian Abbott, 8th. Ronald Klein, 9th. Jeff Merck, 10th. Jack Watts, 11th. Trent Drum, 12th. Mark Jackson will be 13th. Wes Holland, you'll see him marked 4 or 29, depending on how Matt's trading paints went.
I think he's got the 4 on my screen.
Well, there you go. Jeremy Crandall, 15th. Lee Ryson Jr., haven't seen him in a little bit, 16th. Kyle Chadwick, 17th. Judd Danielson, final qualifier, 18th. Justin Michael, 19th. Zach McSwain, 20th. Will Davis, haven't seen him in a while either, in the 990. He's 21st. Brandon Thornhill, 22nd. Johnny Smith, haven't seen him since, I think, Talladega weekend. He's 23rd. Brandon Murray, 24th. James Haney, 25th. Kerry Cleaver, 26th. And Chris Voiles, the guy that won at Talladega, dead last on the field to start this race in 27th.
Well, will we see a repeat out of Chris Voiles? What's your guys' prediction? We'll start with you, Solcheski.
I'd love to see that happen, sweep the super speedways, but he's really going to have to do a lot of work to try to beat Justin Michael. He's so hot in these trucks, winning 4 races, so I think he can do it, but he's got a lot of competition today.
It's hard to disagree with you there, John. Like you mentioned, 4 races, he won 3 in a row as of recent. We had like a bunch of wins spread out over a bunch of drivers, and all of a sudden Justin Michael took off, won some ton of races, going to set him up well. If I had to pick, like I said, Mark Jackson, Travis Browder, great super speedway guys, have been doing it for a long time. So those are 2 easy picks to look at early on. Anyone can win this. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, if I had to name a driver to pick, though, I want to go with Randy Arms. He's a master of just being able to kind of wait for the best opportunity to strike and making the most of whatever opportunity presents himself. I think that's a vital skill to have here at Super Speedway. So I think Randy Arms, a driver that definitely has a potential to work his way to victory lane here tonight as we get ready to go racing. Coming off of turn number 4 for the first time. Pace car down. Here we go. The green flag is out, and we are racing here tonight for 70 laps of action at the Daytona Super Speedway.
Gilmore slow on that start on the side, not going to hurt him too much. Randy Arms going to push that 18. We're going to have a little bit of a straightening out up front, which is probably good for the field. Want to point out real quick, no fast repairs available to these drivers tonight.
Yeah, everyone trying to get single file as quickly as possible. This will turn into a game of follow the leader, at least for a little while, as it always tends to do at Daytona. But you know these drivers, we saw at Talladega, they don't like to wait very long to make moves. You see Zach McSwain already in the back of the field, already looking to try to make things happen, though he's not really going to have a partner for it.
Nah, he can get up there with Lee Ryson Jr. Lee Ryson Jr. is actually a great super speedway driver himself. Chadwick on the bottom, going to the back. That's the 88. He just wants to stay out of the fray. So I imagine that's what he's doing. A gaggle of cars back there around Wes Holland, Brandon Thornhill.
Yeah, Chris Voiles looking to play bumper cars for a minute with the 096 there. That with Johnny Smith, that might not be the best thing in the world. So he's got to kind of level out. He won at Talladega, so he can win again. He's proven he knows how to win at these tracks. Just got to play it calm in the early stages.
Now, a lot of these guys are doing the same. Not used to seeing maybe guys like Johnny Smith, Wes Holland. So you're trying to gauge what they're doing. And it looks like the Ford machine stepping back to grab the 88 in the back. James Haney rolling around, looking to stay out of trouble himself as we view this back early on.
And we got a battle for the lead going on. Jeff Gilmore looks like he's trying to take it, lead his first laps of the evening. It has been Travis Browder out front for the first two. Ken Gilmore lead the third.
It's possible. I mean, he's got a good tandem behind him. Ken Richardson, good pusher. Ronald Klein, excellent pusher. Oh, they're getting a little tight with that door draft. That's where we're going to see some incidents. Bumper hooking into the corner or getting that door draft entering the corner.
Yeah, they're trying to side draft there, and it's a little bit early for that, I think. I think these guys have just got to play it calm, play it smart, and they'll be there at the end. And, contact between Ken Richardson and Randy Arms. Randy Arms forced under the double yellow line, and Randy, I think, is going to use that as opportunity to fall back, though actually, no, he'll fall right in line in front of Mitch Reeves and only lose a handful of spots. But, man, that could have gone bad really fast for Randy Arms in that 83 machine.
Yeah, he did it smart. He didn't advance his position or try to come up back on the track too quick. 83 playing it smart. It is early in the race. You feel that contact, you need to, be aware of your situation. Obviously, Randy knew where to go in that situation.
And Ronald Klein outside now with Mark Jackson. He looked a little bit squirrely for a second, but he's got it figured out. And he's got Ken Richardson ahead. It looks like Jeff Gilmore falling back there. That bottom line doesn't look like as fast as it was in the opening 2 laps.
No, Ken Richardson, the usual super speedway dig. You get out front on the outside, which seems to be a smoother path, but obviously the inside is the place to be. You have more areas to avoid going to the inside.
Yeah, the question is, when do you think we'll see our first caution, or do you think we'll see a caution here tonight? Wishful thinking to go green to the end, but what's your pick?
Well, I mean, I expect more trucks here tonight, so that could play in favor of the cautions, but they're doing a lot of switching up front, which can be a tendency. You don't see a lot of wrecks up front. They're usually mid-pack to back-pack mistakes, but up front, a lot of going on. I imagine closer to pit time, we'll see it. That's my usual mark, I'd like to say, because I didn't see but maybe 3 people practice that pit stop.
Yeah, and pit stops here are deceptively challenging. You think it would be easy because you've got a lot of racetrack to work with, but remember, you're coming down from nearly 200 miles an hour down to 55, 60 miles an hour around that range, so you got to slow down quite a bit, and that's the hard part, is not locking up the tires and spinning the truck out, just getting up to speed, getting down to speed, I should say.
And not to mention exiting. That can be a challenge too. You don't want a situation like, who was it that did that at Talladega a few years ago? But you don't want that kind of a situation
Kevin
in front
LePage?
of Yeah, that's what happened.
Where he destroyed literally the entire field. And then, just on that for a moment, he said, well, their spotters should have been able to see my brightly colored car. And that is why Kevin LePage no longer has a ride in NASCAR.
Yeah, you don't want that kind of a situation, but as long as everyone can stay under those double yellows on their way out, you shouldn't have that problem. But, well, we'll see. Hopefully no one gets a little too crazy on their way out.
Yeah, they're mixing it up at the front of the field right now, like Jeff said. And Jeremy Crandell a little bit further back.
Yeah, he got loose on entry there. Almost slid up in McSwain. Had to get it back down. I maybe caught a camera angle on that. I'm not quite sure.
Looks like Jeff Gilmore falling back too.
Yep, 57 falling back. Wow, he's really off the mark. That's going to hurt the 73. 91's going to go by. That's bad air to come up on someone that fast.
Now, here's the thing I want to mention about Zach McSwain. He is becoming the king of podium finishes, but not wins. You think tonight he's going to break that streak?
Yeah, you can do it at Daytona. Daytona's the place to do it. I know the 81 up here, Szulczewski, in the booth with us tonight on Thursday this week. He's going to be shooting for his Sunday Cup win, I'm sure.
I'll be looking for it on Saturday night. Usually I try and run with you all on Sunday, but I got something going on Sunday, so I'll break out the old Xfinity car.
Looking forward to that. I'm hoping to do some double duty this weekend, Xfinity and Cup Series.
Ah, we can draft together.
Well, allegedly we can.
Make the broadcasters team. Looks like Mark Jackson going to try and get the race lead. He'll slip down in front of Ken Richardson. Now Mitchell Reeves going to be on the outside with him. So this is where things get dicey when these leaders keep swapping it up. Like you said, Jeff, there's grounds for someone just to be a little bit off with where they want to go, and that's how you start a multi-car wreck.
Yeah, especially up front and through the tri-oval we go. I want to point out the 084 right now up front, around up front at least, running around what we would call fourth position. Jack Watts is 13th in the points. He probably needs to win this race.
Yeah, so he'll be looking extra hard to go to victory lane. Looks like Ken Richardson hops back to the top lane as they are 2 by 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see. Pole sitter Travis Browder has fallen all the way back to in front of around James Brown, and I can't blame him with how they're racing at the front of the field with about 60 laps to go at the stripe.
What a show early on, though. A lot of movement, a lot of cars in different places from where they started. That's the type of racing you want to see.
Oh, yeah, but he's pinching down Zach McSwain in that 091.
Yeah, your driver mentality says, I'm not moving now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can say most drivers wouldn't move there.
No, I didn't get much seat time or inside of the cockpit for this race. I see a lot of breathing in the nose now. I imagine tires have started to warn in the corner with this new tire model. So, maybe they're losing a little bit of horsepower with the less grip they have. Having to breathe a little bit more on those trucks, at least on the outside. I saw Mitch Reeves diving down, or not diving down, but poking up high.
Yeah, these trucks, they heat up very, very fast. And I know that from Talladega from the official series, but they heat up in about 2 or 3 laps. So you're constantly looking to get fresh air into that engine, into that radiator. So you're going to see a lot of these guys kind of wiggling around, not because they're loose, but just because they're trying to breathe the engine, like you said. Oh, we got a wreck. Oh, it's big. It is a big crash. Brian Abbott, Jeremy Crandell's involved.
Well, you just mentioned a guy looking to get in the points and a guy in the points. I saw Justin Michael. Ooh,
yep.
Boy, he has a ton of damage.
Crandell's done. Brandon Jackson's motors, not Brandon Jackson, I'm sorry, Brandon Thornhill. His motor's expired. Let's watch Randy Arms and see what happens there. Looks like he got turned by Justin Michael. James Brown nearly escapes that, or barely escapes that, and Brandon Thornhill will ride on board with that 68 truck as he got, pile drove it into that one, as you will, if you will. You can see on board the Ducati machine. And he sees the wreck in front of him. He tries to hold his lane, and Brian Abbott just spins right in front of him, nowhere to go.
I saw Lee Rice Jr. This is from my angle, Matt. I saw Lee Rice Jr. blink, and without touching Justin Michael to 83, the 83 just took a left. So I think the 125 is actually the truck to blame in that situation.
Yeah, he did blink quite a bit. You are correct.
I never saw a contact between the 87 and 83, and that's two top points guys there. Probably have to make up, the rest of the race going around. I mean, they technically don't have to, but they don't want to give up too much points width between, where they stand right now.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. You see this wreck happen. Can you say you're surprised by it, though, with how these guys have been racing 13 laps into this race?
I wanted to say 15 laps, and we'll get John in on the pits. What do you see, John?
Pretty much everybody has decided to come on in. I can't blame them. The way these tires wear on the speedway, they're going to need the tires. And get some fuel, be on their way out. A couple guys doing stop and goes, just some fuel, 2 tires, and about half the field going with 4.
I think 2 tires being a good strategy here is they don't wear down too terrible here at Daytona, so 2 tires might be a good trade-off.
I'm a guy that does 4 tires until the end of the race. Then I make the 2-tire turn if I have to. Maybe it's early to get that 2 tires to see what they do on the beginning part of the race. That way you're not surprised coming out of the pits.
Yeah, that could be too.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that strategy many a time, seeing how the 2 tires help out the handling or make it worse. And in this case, I think that's what we're looking at right now.
Well, I did see Brandon Thornhill disconnect. I don't know if Randy Arms is still in. That stinks for Brandon Thornhill. He was 11th in points. He technically, based on the amount of vehicles, could lose if Jack Watts made it through that. Is the 084 still on the speedway?
Yes, he is. He is in 6th place, completely undamaged, I might add.
Well, bad for the 68, good for the 084. 084 still has to make the rest of the night. He has to finish, like I said. I think Jack Watts has to win this race or podium. Not quite sure. Let's see the difference. Jack Watts has to make up a total of 22 points. There is 27 points available tonight, 28 technically if you win the race. So Jack Watts still got to work a little bit.
Yeah, he could be 4th or better.
4th or better, is that what you calculate?
Yep, 4th or better will get him locked in if this stays the way it is.
And I think you said the 68's motor let loose, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah, that it did. Well, there was a lot of smoke. Whether or not he tries to get it fixed and come back in, he'd be many laps down. But yeah, the motor did pretty much nearly expire.
Well, I know Brandon's probably going to switch over to ASN real quick if he already wasn't at it in the background. And if he's listening, he needs to get his butt back on track.
Yeah, he's got to at least run around, even if he's 15 laps down, make up some points. But that motor was gone.
He still might be safe. Technically, Jeff Merck is the one that Jack Watts has to beat tonight. Jeff Merck's still on track, but I'm not so sure if as it stands right now, and Brandon Thornhill lost 27 points, I don't think he'd be in the top 12.
And right now, 16 laps into this race here. We're closing in on 50 laps to go. Well, what's your predictions for the rest of it?
Gee, it's still early, so to say, but, there's a team up front right now, and that's Over the Top Motorsports. And when they control a race when you allow them to. And you don't want to see them 1, 2, 3. Here's where the outside dig is going to come in. Does Over the Top Motorsports cross over their drivers into the corner to get all on the inside and allow that outside to run up on them? I don't think that's a smart move. They got to stay 1, 2 locked on inside outside.
Well, we'll see how it plays out here. There'll be 2x2 when we let him loose here on lap 17 of 70. I'll let you get the green here.
Yeah, we're going to see what they do. I imagine this will be a nice clean start. One car off the track that I can see the rest of them are repairing.
It's still a pretty big field, 26 drivers, or 25. 20 on track, I should say.
Yeah, 20 trucks on track. They're just trying to, like I said, certain people are locked in, but they can't fall too much in points, or they're going to have to overcome quite a bit starting the playoffs. So they need to make some laps, at least to figure out they can get at least close back to the lead lap as possible. Pace car, you know, if they're going to do another update, I'd like to see a new pace car. Just hint racing if you happen to be watching. There it goes in a weird left-hand turn. Green, green, green. In the box. Here we go. Back to green. Second time here tonight. 376.02. 990. Will Davis and Ken Richardson there in fifth.
And Justin Michael looks like he's rejoining the race here, but he'll be well off the pace when he finally gets back on the racing surface. They are 2x2 as they come onto the backstretch down.
Yeah, we saw Trent Drum get, it looked like he has damage. Trent's there in seventh. He definitely needs to keep racing. Like I said, anyone maybe around seventh was sort of safe or sort of not safe. Here we go. Up to full speed now, entering turn 3.
Yeah, side by side, Ronald Klein up on that outside lane. He's got a lot of speed, it looks like. If he can make something happen, maybe lead this lap. He's got the advantage going into the tri-oval. And he will lead.
Yeah, there he goes. I still think my there in technical second place, but we'll say first place on the inside line as the man to beat at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like that inside line's got... They got the speed down the backstretch, but in the tri-oval, if the outside can put something together, they will take the lead. Speaking of taking the lead, we have had 7 lead changes in 18 laps, so we've had quite a few lead changes here tonight, getting ready to make that one more lead change.
Timothy Smith, Gary Ewing on the YouTube. Welcome everyone watching and rewatching this race.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great night if you're watching this live. Hope you're having a great whatever if you're not watching this live. Day, night, evening, morning. I think we just about covered everything right there.
Yeah, Justin Michael just extra 87. I think he may have blown the motor on the return to the track, but he's probably safe with 4 bonus points going into the chase at Phoenix.
Yeah, that is probably most likely correct there. And look at Ray Richer. I want to mention him real quick. Outside line, back there, 10th position, trying to wiggle his way around, trying to figure out what he wants to do with his racing situation behind Jeffrey Merck. You think he's going to stay on that high line? Looks like he's eager to get to the bottom.
Yeah, he made a move like he wanted to, like Brandon Murray was going to allow him to. That 2 machine out there selling home loans for whatever reason, not giving him that room.
It's got a nice looking paint scheme though, that 2 car.
Oh yeah, it's real
looks
nice.
Like, is that one of the old Hendrick schemes? Because I think it is.
It might be. I'm not quite sure. Can't remember all the paint schemes in the world.
Yeah, I think that's one of the old Hendrick cars from like the mid 2000s. Brian Vickers or one of the old Kyle Busch cars. Anyway, moving on, Mark Jackson. Speaking of moving on, he moves on to the race lead for the 10th lap here tonight. Good run by Mark Jackson so far, making that 3-car proud.
Yeah, he's still got the 4th of Troops week paint scheme on. Have that on for practically the whole season. Imagine he'll keep that. 13th to 1st there for the 3 machine. Ronald Klein holding down 3 wide.
Three
situation
wide.
Coming up. They got tired of that team running.
And Ray Richards, I was about to say Ronald Klein's just going to fall back, settle in line, but no, Ray Richards is going to jump in that situation. I already thought about jumping in that situation. I guess he's not going to jump in that situation. But they will stay 3 wide for a little bit. And Ken Richardson, he will jump in that situation and try and make something happen.
That was close.
Yeah, that it was.
Well, there's the guy that was second fastest most of the week at the Glen. Zach Swain, he's worked up inside the top 5 now.
And they're going to have to get by Chris
Voiles on the
Voiles.
outside.
Man, that's unfortunate for Chris Voiles getting put a lap down. He won at Talladega, was probably hoping to do a sweep of the super speedways, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. I don't know what's wrong with that truck, though. It doesn't look like he's got a little bit of left front damage.
He probably just didn't get the draft at the back up on the start. Contact 85084 there, entering the tri-oval, door-to-door contact.
Well, of all the things Jack Watts doesn't need, he does not need to be making contact with other drivers. That's for sure.
No, he doesn't. We've covered that exclusively there.
Ronald Klein beating and banging with Zach McSwain, the man, the myth, and yes, folks, he is even the legend.
I don't know. That 16 machine's up for a good finish, a finish, and possibly a win. Out of his rookie season, Ken Richardson really lit a fire under these drivers. He's got to put down some good spots. He hasn't been able to finish a lot of races lately.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I tell you what, he's got a lot of speed in that 16 machine.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does with. He's got that outside line now. He's not going to get the full push from the 76 to upset the inside, so it's all up to that 990 there to force the situation.
And right now,
off field.
Right now, I want to mention the 029, Kerry Cleaver back there, 14th place. He's trying to climb his way up through the field. He started 26th position here tonight, so he's working his way to the front. And doing a decent job of it.
Lead lap, that's where you want to be. He's getting lined up for the end of the marked run, and we're about 25 laps down, lap 25 around the speedway. Getting close to that halfway mark. But I don't know. I'm still interested to see if we can get to a green flag pit stop, and that might tell the key to the future.
Yeah, I think we're going to. I don't see there. Well, I'm not going to say I don't see there being another caution, because I think there's going to be at least one more. But I don't think there's going to be another big wreck for a little while. So I think we're definitely going to get to at least one green flag stop here tonight.
Now, that's always a good mark to get in the league. I'd like to see more than one, but, you know, it is Daytona. There's a move, I think, from the 76. And he looked like he was going to push the outside, but he likes to breed that truck in locations that I normally wouldn't breed the truck, so confuses me.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Speaking of doing what you got to do, look at Will Davis. There's a driver we haven't talked about all night. That 990 machine. 7th place. He's working his way to the front. He's 3rd truck on that outside row. I'll tell you what, he's got a great night going for him.
Yeah, he sure does. You know, just playing it cool. Doesn't want to wreck anyone. Just wants to play spoiler for the win tonight.
And right now, it looks like Zach McSwain on the bottom. Jack Watts in tow. That bottom line, I tell you, and you know, you hit the nail on the head earlier. The bottom line just got a little bit more speed. The high line takes it for a few seconds, and then you watch the bottom line. I don't know if it's just the way they're working together, and they're working together a little bit better, but that bottom line just starts to pull away ever so slightly more, and it's really interesting to see how it all works out here at Daytona. It might just be a matter of they have more trucks, and that might be it.
I don't know. They got a little bit of a spin there between the 084 and the 2, like the 2 hit a wall. You can see probably the 85 and 44 might jump down here in a second.
They've certainly got enough room if they want it, and Jeff Gilmore will be the first one to take the bait.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the inside right now.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one. I don't see at the moment, any benefit to running on the high line. Looks like Ray Richard going to fall way back. He got bent out of shape there when Gilmore jumped to the bottom. Richard just going to keep in tow, and he's going to have to slip in line somewhere back there. And he will.
Yeah, Gilmore and Ray Richard were drafted, but they're not teammates, so Gilmore went without notifying him at the moment.
And Gilmore's kind of like floating around, and he's going to split Brandon Murray and the 125 of Lee Ryson and really make things difficult for both of those trucks. Gilmore was just floating around looking for what lane was going to be the fastest, and in doing so, I think kind of hurt himself a little bit. And we got one in the wall. That's Jeremy Crandall again.
He was just trying to stay out of the way. I get it, but that was excessive.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, he didn't get in the way.
I still don't want anyone to lose their truck there against the wall. Chris Voiles, Brian Abbott out of the race. That's the 83, the 82, and the 28. So no repeat in the trucks for Chris Voiles.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for Boyle. I was really hoping he'd be able to repeat there, and he came out of nowhere to win Talladega. It was an exciting finish when he won. With that Dega win, that was very exciting to watch.
Yeah, a lot of the team that Chris Voiles ran with that Dega was here tonight. They seem to have also got bit by that one only caution so far.
And we're about 31 laps into this race here. And we'll be closing in on green flag pit stops pretty soon. You mentioned you wanted to see them, and you watch that 990 hop to the bottom lane. That'll put that top line down on trucks, and every time a driver swaps lanes, it always disturbs whatever line they were in, at least for a few seconds. So that's going to make things interesting for that bottom line of drivers, or that top line of drivers, I should say.
And that 990, Will Davis was looking forever. Almost close incidents with Jack Watts last couple laps just to get to the bottom. Finally had a decent opening. And it, like you said, really disturbed that top line because Ken Richardson lost a truck lane. Probably the amount of time it took Will Davis to get down there.
And right now, Mark Jackson, your race leader, and he has led for about 20 laps here tonight. So I tell you what, Mark Jackson has been putting on a fantastic show here.
Yep, nice and steady up front is Mark Jackson. That's for sure. He's got a good teammate push with Mitchell Reeves behind him.
It looks like Ken Richardson, that outside line. Ken Richardson has been controlling that outside line for, what I'd say, maybe the last 10 or so laps, and they just haven't been able to do much. And what do you think that's down to? You think that's just down to a lack of trucks? I mean, my guess is it's down to a lack of trucks, because that outside lane, it always seems like you need to have more trucks than the bottom to make something happen in the first place, and even then it's a little bit hard, just the nature of the way it runs, especially in these trucks.
Yeah, I definitely think you need more trucks on the outside line for a push, or at least the same amount. I don't think Ken is really attacking off the corners as well as he could be. You want to start pinching guys down off the corners and then allowing them up as you enter the tri-oval for safety factors also. So that's my view on it.
Yeah, right now it is Mark Jackson, though, holding on to the race lead. And I tell you what, man, he is doing a great job of it.
Can't really beat it at the moment. The same three guys on the inside have been there since the redrop of the green flag, 3:02:091.
Yeah, and they're starting to go single file here just a little bit. As you can see, that outside line just kind of deforming. You think that's because they're getting closer to green flag pit stops? Or you think the drivers on the outside line are just getting fed up that they haven't been able to make something happen?
I don't know. He may have some aero damage somewhere that we're not seeing, because he's lying back really good. There goes the 76. He gave up on that line. He's down to the bottom. Either they're starting to just try to get around the 16, like the 16's burn up tires, or they're starting to aim for that pit stop, like you said.
Yeah, it looks like Jeremy Crandell going to get put another lap down. Man, you got to feel bad for him. He was looking pretty strong going into this race, and it's just not gone his way.
No, he was 5th in points. He definitely needed stuff to happen. It's not happening the right way for him.
Yeah, 34 laps into this race, and it is currently still Mark Jackson, but Mitchell Reeves in second. Zach McSwain third. Now, like I said earlier, McSwain has just been the king of running second and third. You think it's his breakout night?
We're still waiting on it. We're going to come out until he does. That's for sure.
Should be interesting to see if it all plays out the way he wants.
All single file except for the 6th machine, who's left to find a hole.
Man,
Hopefully
he's
he doesn't
trying.
have to hit the same lap.
He's trying out there. He's doing what he can. Unfortunately,
I don't think it's a racing situation unless that 091 goes. But
yeah, unfortunately, he's falling way back.
091 to the outside. Door contact to 091.
McSwain now going to have to try something now. McSwain's only option is to fall back, and oh, he's going to try and squeeze in line in front of the 990, and that'll barely work.
Yeah, Will Davis let him in.
Well, because if he did, I think the only option was that he was going to get wrecked.
Yeah, that's McSwain's obviously not in the points talk on the Cup side of things, so he's sitting about 22nd at the moment with only 8 races runs. He's out there for the win, that's for sure. Mitch Reeves down.
Oh, everyone's down pit lane. Oh, yep, Zach McSwain and Davis.
Richardson's around.
Oh boy.
Richardson through the grass.
No yellow.
What happened to Zach McSwain is the question.
That started with the 16 forced the 990 down.
Well, everyone tried to pit all at once.
I think culprit there, unfortunately, is the 16 who was aggressively trying to get down to pit road from the outside.
Yep. Oh, wow, he just slammed into the 992.
That's the situation where he was already at the corner apex there. And he should have just gone for another lap.
And did you see Judd Danielson barely getting by Zach McSwain? Ken Richardson still could have pitted from the outside line, too. It would have been a little bit harder for him, but he still could have made it work.
Yeah, it's just 990 was easing down into his spot. I think, John there caught a little bit more of it. It's just, I don't know. I personally wouldn't make that move. Maybe he needed to pit, and that was the situation we were all forced to see, but it definitely wasn't good.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Browder on road, that's going to leave a huge mark of, separated drivers.
Unless we get a caution, that's going to really set the tone for the rest of the night. As far as people being separated.
The team got away, so to say. The 02, the 3, and the 76 all in line and all in tow right now.
So now the question is, which of the over-the-top drivers you think is going to go to victory lane?
Well, if I were them, I wouldn't move. 02 needs an extra bonus point. Ronald Klein could do with an extra bonus point. Mark's out of the points picture, so Mark's going to be the pusher for whoever. Or he might just bow out on the last lap. As it stands, but I don't know. We kind of saw this coming, and I mentioned it, and I mentioned it, and I mentioned it. These guys did not do a whole lot of practicing, at least 2x2, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. And, you said it at the top of the show. Again, as I said earlier, you hit the nail on the head. Nobody practiced pit road entry, and, well, it really bit them.
It is a key thing at these super speedways. You got to do it as a group at some point. You got to say, "Hey, let's get together with this other team." And even if you're doing it 100 miles an hour or less, just the motion of things could be successful.
And 40 laps into this race now, and it is all spread out. Do you think we get another caution?
Well, I'm sure the possibility is there. I don't think we're going to get that. I mean, they need it. Jeff Mark is actually the last car on the lead lap. That doesn't fare well, but, you know, Jack Watts up to 5th. I don't know the point spread right there. There's only 12 point spread there. He needs more than that from the 60 machine. I'm interested to see off air tonight how that points battle ends up. It might be really close.
Yeah, right now 41 laps in, 30 laps to go.
There's at least 2 tandems. Butter, Watts, and Gilmore have hooked up.
Yeah, it's like it's a throwback to 2011 with all the guys being 2-truck tandem or 3-truck tandem.
Yeah, there's the 4-truck tandem that includes Brandon Murray, Judd Danielson. Let's see, the 00 James Brown. I think that's 55 with James Haynes, 25th to 9th for that 55, staying out of the fray.
Yeah, right now 41 laps into this race. And you mentioned James Haney in that 4-truck group. He's had a kind of an up and down season. Well, if we get another caution, do you see him as someone who might be able to win?
Oh yeah, anyway. But you know, really and truthfully, I said it at the start of that caution there, is you got to get the 02, the 3, and the 76. They were locked in at the front to start that green flag run. So you got to break up the team mentality as a different driver just to do that. Here comes the 4 and the 88 looking to get their lap back the hard way.
Hey, gotta give them credit for trying here. They're definitely working it.
I don't know, John. How about you? Are you guilty of, like the rest of these drivers, not practicing your pit road entry?
No, I try to make at least 3 or 4 attempts to get down on, well, assuming I haven't been crashed, getting down on the pit road from green flag speeds. It's a very good skill to work on, and it obviously was on display here. A lot of guys were rusty on doing that.
I know I pitch it from race to race, and I've been guilty of it from time to time too. You know, not doing it, but I don't know. It seems particularly good to do it in a points situation.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I know when I do the super speedways or any track where I think I got trouble pitting, like at, say, Darlington, I'd practice at least 1 or 2 pit road entries. I will say, like, tracks like Michigan, I don't do it because Michigan is kind of, to me, an easy pit road entry.
60 goes the lap now.
Yep, Jeff Merck in that camo ASN machine.
It's a wait and see venture now for those people tuning in and rewatching this. It's what's going to happen on track right now. It's the over the top show leading this race, and I don't see them losing it at this point. They got about 8 seconds over the next group there. I think maybe with the amount of trucks they have now in tow, do they get 88 and 60 battling it? I don't know why the 60 made that move on the outside.
Well, he wants to be the lucky dog, if he can.
Well, that's fine and dandy, but I mean, why that 60 has to be looking up there going, well, that's my teammates leading the race. I don't want to bring out a potential caution.
Well, yeah, that is true as well.
I just don't like the move going to the outside, pressing the situation, using door draft. You want to be the lucky dog, sure, but maybe wait for the opportunity that your team's not 8 seconds ahead.
I gotta agree with you. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But I can see the driver's perspective too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he may not be even thinking about the team at the moment.
He might just be
He's gonna
thinking about he wants that lucky dog position if they get a caution.
And he's made it happen. Look at that. It's now 1, 2, 3, and, well, if you want to count him fourth, all in the train.
That's got to be
that's the way
killing him
to
on
run
the
team.
inside. Got to be killing him on the inside that he is not on the lead lap and in fourth place right there.
Well, there goes super speedway racing. You get out of line, get out of shape, get a bent up race car, you can find yourself a lap down. And I think that 60 machine better be lucky before it didn't bumper tag him from coming down.
Yeah, he was real close, and I got to say, wasn't Holland there probably backed off just a little bit to let him in line. If not, we would have seen the 60 go probably into the inside retaining wall.
No way to mess up the top three, at least right now. I'm keeping track of the Browder, Jack Watts, Jeff Gilmore. There's still a 3-car team back there, man. The 18 line wire machine, the 084 there, Jack Watts, looks like Copenhagen, and Jeff Gilmore with his Can-Am truck.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good right there, 5th place.
Now that's help out the 18. Obviously, he has a lot of points to make up, sitting at 17th, and have to make up about 50 points. I don't think that's possible tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it all plays out.
Jack Watts is the guy, and I think he's doing exceptionally well. Might be a little bit late in the season to do that for poor old Jack Watts, but he's making a heck of a run at Daytona. Gilmore, where did I say he was? Tied for 7th in points, 3-way tie with Trent Drum, who's off the track actually. So I think Trent Drum feels safe in his numbers here tonight.
I hope he does if he's, retired that car. We'll ride on board with Jack Watts for a lap here. Right behind Travis Browder there, that number 18 machine. Browder's got a good thing going. He started on pole here and looking to kind of continue that run. Oh, that 084 got a little bit loose.
Now a little bit of seesaw on the bumper. They need to keep that straighter through those long straightaways. You don't want to seesaw too much. That's how you get those bumper hooks.
Yeah, that is for sure.
I mean, these trucks are naturally more, flatter at the front compared to what we would call the cup car. Like we noticed the Camaros, the whatever one they were driving last season. I know if you paid attention out on YouTube and Facebook today, they introduced a lot of the new cars, a lot of new generation cars coming up for this year. And the one thing I would like to note with the Camaros, as we're talking about pushing, is how flat, a little bit more flatter that nose is.
And new 1LEs, or ZL1LEs.
1LEs, yes.
So it should be.
Yeah, but they sold out the Corvettes. That's the. I don't know. They sold out Corvettes. That's what they're doing at the Dega race. They weren't team racing. They weren't points racing. They were selling Corvettes.
Exactly. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to make the brand money. End of the day.
I know, but you got a Chevy Toyota, and I think Gilmore's driving a Chevy. If not, he'd usually be driving a Toyota, I think. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he's in a Chevy Silverado. Good looking Chevy Silverado too, I gotta say.
Well, even if Jack Watts doesn't make it, I'm looking at, rookie numbers, rookie drivers that put in the most time this season. Other than probably Zach McSwain, I think 084 Jack Watts has to be up there for Rookie of the Year honors.
Yeah, that is for sure. He's had a great season.
Quick numbers just from the truck side. Dan Watts, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s through 12 races. Race number 13 looks like he's gonna get another top 10 as long as steady goes everything.
And right now, Mitchell Reeves still holding on to the race lead. Do you think he's going to win the race with 19 laps to go and one more pit stop to do it?
Yeah, they got to start thinking about a short pit here as they battle the Team Chevy guys up there, the 4 and the 88. 88 just getting seated right now, getting ready for Phoenix.
Yeah, side by side, Wesley Holland trying to regain his lap. And that'll be the question if he can.
Yeah, we're seeing a reappearance of that Ford machine. Think about what that can do at the top of the points. If Wes Holland starts winning races again, and these guys are having to fight for the scraps behind them. Now, don't get me wrong, Wes Holland has a lot of seat time to go to get to that point, as Over the Top Motorsports does not challenge that pass for the provisional lead up front.
Yep.
I don't know. Going in, here we go. Here's the short pit. Oh, really? John,
Reeves down pit lane. Reeves will get a good pit entry here, it looks like. Might be a little bit hot, but I think he'll be all right. We'll turn it to you, John.
And coming in formation, same way they did out on the track. We're going to start with Mark. He's coming in. Come to a complete stop in his box, as does everybody else. Nice and clean there. And off he goes. And clean getaway. So not really much to report there. Just coming in, making sure they're filled up for the rest of the race. And they're heading back out to you guys.
Yeah, well, John, hold on to it real quick. They're on pit road because you got the 18 tandem probably going to come down pit road this time after hearing the leaders went last. Do they do it? No, they stay out on the track. Looks like the 73.
There's a spinner at the entrance of pit road, though.
Oh, man.
I think that was Crandall.
Yeah, that does look like Crandall. No caution, though.
Yep, he spun himself right round.
Just a little too hot.
And he hooked it and kept it off the wall, so good save, too, by Jeremy Crandall.
I'm still following this 18 tandem. They got to realize that this is now a fuel mileage race, and they can't be off the track during the last 10 so laps of this race. That's going to be hard to communicate. That 3 different teams there running together. Does Gilmore go? Oh, he's going to...
Gilmore's in.
Here they come. Here they come.
Wow. Did Gilmore end with good speed? That was tight.
I think he might have sped, just looking at how that started off, but we'll see once he gets out here.
Well, at least the 18 has the number 1 bot.
You can never underestimate how good that is to have.
Gilmore out and away. Looks like Browder had the worst pit stop of the 3.
Oh, Gilmore hooked. He got really far out there on those yellows.
Oh, man.
This was the 2 tires. This is where you needed to do fuel and 2 tires.
Wow.
The 18 probably took 4.
How did Gilmore not wreck that truck? That's what I want to know.
Was smart and got off the gas. I don't know. Which one did you follow more closely there, John? Big group coming in. Judd Danielson, Zach McSwain.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on this entrance. Big gaggle of trucks coming in. A little bit organized. Ooh, just about cut across his nose there. I can't imagine they'll be here long just for 2 tires, some fuel.
I don't know. I'm seeing some 4-tire stops, which I don't advise this late in a race.
No, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there, to be quite honest with you. We got Zach McSwain out first out of that group. Looks like everyone gets out pretty clean.
Yeah, McSwain had a good stop there. Johnny Smith bringing him in.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the best stop in the world, but if the guy's pushing you didn't have the same kind of stop, it's going to break the momentum. Well, let's see how they all fit out of this. It looks like the over-the-top team, 1, 2, 3, technical fourth there out of the pit boxes. That I feel, I mean, we had a spin, a couple guys spin during the last pit stop. I still think this was the most important pit stop right here. Those guys that took 4 tires just bit a whole big of a bullet there.
Yeah, like I said, I have no
sure.
idea what they were trying to do there. I mean, 4 tires is not going to benefit you when you have to get out there as soon as possible.
That don't know on iRacing, at least I guess in all sim reality, by the time you get 2 tires on that truck, you're full of fuel and you don't have to worry about anything else. That's the way to save time here during green flag pit stops at the end of a race.
Yeah, right now 11 laps to go at the stripe. Well, do you think we see another caution?
They've been known to do it, haven't they, Matt?
Well, we have seen it, but I mean, they're pretty spread out right now. So I'm inclined to say we're going to go green to the end.
I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, the 2 guys out front, Klein, Mitch, right now, those are the guys that need the bonus points. Whoever gets it, right? Jackson, Merck, technically, Jackson could win this race, but the bonus point won't help him going into the chase. I know I talk a lot of teams and points, but these are the things you have to look at, especially with the 87 out early in this race. A couple of those guys could get up maybe closer into points, maybe gain a point or 2.
Yeah, right
73 off this way.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Watts trying to gain some position here, trying to gain as much points as he can. Wesley Holland with Kyle Chadwick now back on the lead lap. And Jack Watts will gain those positions.
Yeah, 084 needs as much as possible. 57.
He'll be 4th.
Oh, he needs it. If those guys can give it to 084, that goes to 4 and 88. They're going to pit.
Yeah, I was thinking they're going to have to pit soon. Travis Browder not wanting to let Gilmore in. I don't know why.
They need the single tandem to gain the most speed.
Yeah, Browder's just not playing nice with Jeff Gilmore. I don't know what the deal is there. I guess he's not too big of a fan of him.
Yeah, I don't think he was too happy about that entrance that he did on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a John. That's Gilmore, probably the last person to know that they were pitting, and Gilmore pitted anyways. That could have caused some major malfunction there for the whole tandem.
Oh yeah, it would have been a bad time.
Yep, right now we will have 8 laps to go here.
Now I'm sitting back. I look at this team with the 44, the 85, all the biggest group of cars we got here with the remaining laps going. They could be the most effective group if they could get 2x2, get a bunch of door drafting going. But, you know, they're on the lead lap. Some of them are in the top 10, so why push it?
And right now, 7 laps to go. Mitchell Reeves looking to go to victory lane here tonight. He's got Mark Jackson in tow with him and Ronald Klein. This could become a 3-way battle.
I'm inclined to believe not. 1, 2, 3 at the front. They've done this a couple times already at Dega during our bash races, during regular season races on the Xfinity and Cup side of things. They've dominated races as a race team, and that's what you have to do. And I mentioned those Corvette selling opportunities during the red flag situations at Dega. They're just doing the same thing. They're a team that's lined up, and they've got their strategy down about darn perfect here at super speedways of late.
Yeah, right now 6 laps to go here at the stripe. Mitchell Reeves still holds the lead. Ronald Klein still runs second, and Wesley Holland with James Haney in tow right behind our leaders.
Yeah, Mark, Haney, Holland lap down there. See a little bit of blinking from the 3.
So with 6 laps to go, John, who's your pick to win?
I got to go with Mitchell Reeves. He hasn't shown any signs of giving any room for Ronald to get around. I think that as long as he hugs that yellow line, he's going to make it hard for anybody else to win out of that pack.
I'd have to agree with John there. It's a little bit hard to. I think the 3 and the 60 will give off into the tri-oval, give the 76 and the 02 some room to maneuver if they so choose, to make it a little bit of exciting finish. But outside those 2, I don't think anyone could step out and win this thing, other than the 3, obviously. He could take advantage of anything his teammates mess up.
And right now here, you can see it looks like everyone's kind of settled into their own running spots. I don't really think we're going to see many big passes.
No, there's not much going on there on the track at the moment.
Four more laps to go. All these drivers have to do is kind of maintain their positions, but there might be some position switching it up. Look at Brandon Murray, Ken Richardson with Kerry Cleaver.
Yeah, those guys are going around. Like I said, this big pack can put down some good time, but they're just so far back from the pitting schedule and the speed that the leaders are carrying. I don't think the leaders can catch up another 10 seconds here. So I don't think they have to worry about the back of the pack. Right now, all those leaders have to worry about is mixing it up with lap cars. 60s on the outside. We got some stuff going on up front. Almost 55 and 60 contact. Sorry to take you away from that.
And right now, looking back up at that, 3 laps to go here.
Leaders let lap cars by to do their own thing. 00 off track.
Right now, 2 to go. Tell you what, I think Mitchell Reeves got this one kind of in the bag.
No, seems to be the branding point at the moment. It's still up to the top 3 of what they what shenanigans they want to pull at the end of this race. I think Mark Jackson pulling out right there, showing, hey, I can be fast too.
Well, Mark Jackson has had a fast truck tonight, and, well, it looks like he might just lead this lap with 2 to go, and he did. So there you go.
Yeah, this is getting hairy. Mark Jackson pulls to the outside. He's using the outside line, forcing the rest of the leaders to get around the lap cars they just let by. This is setting up to be a nice finish all of a sudden.
I tell you what, it is Mark Jackson. I was not expecting to see him go and take the lead, but he's gone and done it. coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at the stripe.
And he smartly moves back up the field and goes, wait, I don't got to block the lap, guys.
Final lap, as always, presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs. And yeah, you got 2 lap trucks on the bottom. He can use those as a pick, not letting Mitch Reeves use the bottom line. That's a smart move.
I imagine just going to push as hard as he can down this back straightaway to get Mark Jackson a full run that he doesn't so necessarily want. 76 is there. This is teammates racing, by the way. Bonus point on the line for 2 of them. Win on the line for Mark Jackson, who just wants to win at Daytona. Line they go.
Tell you what, I think Mark Jackson, he might just have the win at Daytona. Coming off of turn number 4, I don't think there's anything they can do.
Where's the move?
To the bottom.
Well, maybe there is. Mitch Reeves is going to try for it. And Mitch Reeves, yes, he will. He will get it.
Wow, off turn number 4, Mitch Reeves. It was a great finish. I got to give him that. Wes Holland wrecks out coming to the start-finish line.
Ronald Klein came up 3rd. Jack Watts
wreck on the
4th.
backstretch.
Yes,
Let's see
there
where
is.
Jack
Another wreck on the
finishes.
backstretch.
Judd Danielson has crashed. Ray Richer and Brandon Murray, they haven't finished the race yet.
No, they got to get trucks across the start-finish line.
Ray Richer can't.
Oh, boy. Well, Jack Watts comes home 4th. I'm actually going to include him in tonight's talk. Even if he doesn't make it in points, what a run for him. So we'll move him up in the interview with the top 3 guys also.
So, Mitch Reeves, Jackson, Klein, Watts, Browder, Gilmore, Richardson, Cleaver, Richard, Danielson, Murray, Smith, Haney, Holland, Merck, Chadwick, Brown, McSwain, Crandall, Davis, Drum, Ryson, Voiles, Abbott, Michael, Thornhill, and Arms will be your field. Mitchell Reeves, well, he goes to victory lane. And I'll let you get the word in with our race winner here tonight.
All right. Well, Mitch Reeves up here talking to us yet again. Bonus point, but what a move, at least off of turn number 4, taking it away from Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, your teammate who's using lap cars as a pick. Y'all made it exciting. That was fun, but kudos to you for that extra win entering the chase.
Oh, yeah, man. This was a awesome race. You know, to have these last 2 races get bonus points in trucks, it's a big deal. You know, another thing is too, you know, we didn't really expect to go green the end of the rest of that race like that, but Over the Top Motorsports tonight absolutely just kicked butt. You know, we had a 14-second lead. We had some lap cars there at the end that kind of made it a little interesting, but you know, it's pretty cool when you're in a league race with all your teammates, and at 5 laps to go, y'all are talking about how we want to make this fair for all 3 of us. And we all agreed that we wanted to get to the last lap, and then whatever happens. And that's what happened. I even told Mark going into turn 3, I'm like, I'm going to make a move. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try to make a move. And, man, this is awesome to get 1, 2, 3 like this for Over the Top Motorsports.
Yeah, I mean, your team there has been at least the most strategically placed team on super speedways of late. We've run, I think, 3 Dagger races on 3 different occasions, at least 3 different weeks, and now Daytona. I think Over the Top Motorsports has got at least 75% of those wins.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool deal, man, and you know, we got a lot of momentum built even more momentum going into the chase. You know, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to run the Xfinity Series, but the Truck Series and the Cup, we're going to try to make the best of it. The Cup Series is going to be interesting come Sunday because I'm right on the bubble, but we're definitely going to enjoy this one tonight, Jeff. It was a team win, no doubt, and that's what's the coolest part about this.
All right, well, before we ask you to thank those people, because I'm pretty sure you're locked in, so I won't even have to guess on that one, what is your look at Phoenix for race number 1?
Me and Phoenix have a bad history. We actually came in, it's very ironic now that I'm talking about this. We went in the same situation last year. We went into Phoenix and ruined all of our chase hopes at that race, wrecked the car out and all that. So I've got some payback for Phoenix, and I really hope to redeem myself there next week for sure.
All right, well, go ahead and thank those people who need to.
I got to give another huge shout out to Over the Top Paints and Designs with John Hedrick, Over the Top Motorsports for everything they do. It was a awesome race for us guys. Cannot wait to see what we can do in the chase. Racegear.com with this beautiful O2. We got some new paint teams in the works, possibly for the chase. You guys up in the booth for doing the awesome broadcast like y'all have all year. Can't wait for y'all to do the chase for us as well. And last and certainly never least, probably first, is my girlfriend for everything she does and allows me to do. I have a racing addiction, and she has allowed me to do as much as I can. I can't thank her enough for it, and I love her so much.
All right, Mitch. Well, we'll see you the rest of the week at you are here at Loose Lugnuts, and if not, we'll on ASN side of things, we'll see you next Thursday at Phoenix.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, next up on the interview block, it'll be John Solcheski with the one and only Mark Jackson, who, if this start-finish line was a few feet shorter, would have gone to victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, man, what a race. I mean, my teammates, we played our strategy perfect, stayed out of trouble. That first green flag caution or a green flag stop when I can't remember who it was. I think it was Richardson spun across my nose when we got on the pit road. Oh my God. White knuckle moment right there, and we managed to get back out, and we had a good gap on the field and played our strategy really well. You know, at the end there we had those lap cars to deal with, and that made it a little bit tough. So, and I don't know, I heard my teammates call out one of them that was a lap down. I think it was Merck. Said that Mitchell may have went below the yellow line. I haven't seen the replay yet, so I don't know. First, second, whatever. It was a great night, and just proud to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, sorry, John. We'll get you on the next one. But yeah, man, I tell you what, it was a great run that you had there. And, I mean, I thought you had that one coming to the line, then Mitch Reeves steps out the last second. What was going through your mind?
Well, I knew the truck was loose, and I didn't want to make any sharp moves because we took 2 tires all night. Right sides, left sides, right sides on the pit stops. And, I mean, we talked about it about 10 to go. He said, you know, there's no team order, but we didn't want to screw up and wreck coming to the line and mess up our night. So Mitchell told me he was coming when we were coming out of 4. I said, okay. And I had to think really fast what I was going to do. I tried to block a run a little bit, but so I just kind of tried to run the middle, but I don't know if I ran him down below the line or not, or if he was legal. It's all good, man. I just, I got to thank my teammates there at Over the Top Motorsports, John Hendrick, ASN and Max Speed TV for everything you guys do all year long. And just happy to have a second place. I don't know if we made the chase. I missed a couple of races there in the truck series. So we'll see where the cards fall, and just incredible. Really happy to be up here tonight.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, man. Great job on second place, and good luck at Phoenix.
Thank you, brother.
All right, and John Solcheski will now get with Ronald Klein, who wound up third here tonight.
How about it, Matt? How you doing?
Hey, Ron, that was a good race you did there, playing, third fiddle there at the end. Shades of SHR at Talladega a few years ago. Tell me, what was going through your mind on that last lap when you were behind your 2 teammates battling it out?
I told Mitchell Reeves that I was going to stay with him all the way to the end. Even though Mark is a teammate, I didn't want to chance any kind of wrecking or whatever, and I'm a man of my word. So when Mitchell went and made his move, I went with him. That's what teammates do in order to, gain and keep the trust of another teammate, is follow through with what you say you're going to do. So it was nothing against Mark. Mark Mark put himself in a position to to have a win if those other cars would have been around to help him. But when it was just the three of us, we had actually talked about going three wide just to make it interesting for the broadcast. But I saw Mitchell drop low, and I didn't want to risk jumping high and wrecking us all. So I just followed Mitchell and pushed him to win.
We would all lost our minds if that was going to be the case. Well, good job with that third place finish. Now, the main order of business, playoffs going into Phoenix. What are you thinking about heading into that?
I don't know for sure. I actually have a real life race coming up next weekend, and I think I'm going to be leaving on Thursday. I just don't know. I got to do some communication with the team that I'm racing with and see if showing up at it's about an hour and a half drive, so probably 10:30 is going to be feasible, or if I need to leave right after work. So I actually don't know if I'm going to be a part of the chase at all, unfortunately.
Well, if that's the case and you can't run with us, good luck with that real life race. And congratulations on that top 3 finish along with your 2 teammates.
Appreciate it.
All right, and last up on the interview block here tonight, we got a special interview with Mr. Jeff Wood with Jack Watts, who finishes 4th here.
Yeah, Jack, we noted on you all night, 13th in points coming into this evening. Had to have one thing happen, and that was the 12th place guy had to exit the track early. He didn't, but 11th place did. It's going to be mighty close for you in points, but either way, the cards fall for you here this evening. I want to say what a great job you did in the situation that you had.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of pressure. I was really hoping to get into the chase, and I'm kind of anxious to see where the points fall out, but it was a good race all in all.
No, I mean, you yourself in the best possible, other than probably winning it. I think the whole team in front of you, at least. One point, I don't know who you were talking to in TeamSpeak. If you were talking to anyone at all, it didn't look like you were communicating with the 18 and 57, because that last pit stop, boy, what a doozy.
Yeah, that last one was rough. The first one was rough too when the first green flag, because when those guys pitted, that's when they wrecked. So I had to back way off. So that's where I lost the first 3 cars in the draft, and then the next one it was just over the radio. But those guys, I know Travis took a full tank, and I only took 6 gallons, so I ended up leaving them by like 2-3 seconds. So that made it a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. You sure didn't know who you're going to end up running around, being a single car team for the most part of the year. Noted between you and McSwain, I think one of the few rookies that have put in the most time based on your number. You're obviously not a rookie. We've seen you run for like the last 6 years. I think you're going to end up with a full-time number and probably run up for Rookie of the Year honors across Loose Lugnuts Racing. So keep running your best, and if it doesn't shake out for you, I just wanted to say what a great job here tonight, putting yourself at the best possible situation.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and appreciate all the sponsors and Loose Lugnuts and Over the Top Racing for putting this on. It's a great bunch of people to run with, and they're all as clean as they can be. It's fun.
All right, 084, good luck. I hope to see you around for the rest of the season, no matter the outcome.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, and from all of us at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's action from Daytona Super Speedway. You can catch the rest of the week over at Max Speed TV, but we're not done from American Sim Network. Oh, no, we got dirt racing tomorrow night, and I tell you what, folks, you ain't going to want to miss a minute of that from the Knoxville Speedway. I'll see you then tomorrow night. Have a great night, everybody.